Good morning everyone, welcome to the channel or welcome back to the channel. If you're new here, I'm Chantel and I am the owner of Soft Kitten Creations, a small stationery and illustration business based out of Essex in the UK. Today's vlog is going to be me prepping and getting everything set for my market on the 28th of June. Today is the 2nd of June, 3rd? Today is the 3rd of June. It is actually my 26th birthday on the 6th, but I have another one of the Walk Ipswich markets on the 28th of June, so I need a big prep stock update because at the start of the month I took a lump sum of stock to my wonderful stockist Threads for All in Ipswich. I did a complete teardown of my shelf and rebuild with all new stock, including the new products I have like lanyards, which I will be making some of in this vlog as well. But today's task is phone charms. I am running really low on my phone charms. I have put a huge amount of them out at Threads. I sold a few on the 3rd of May at the last Ipswich market. So today you'll be joining me as I assemble a load of my glass bead phone charms. And I am very sorry about the lighting in here. Even though it is summer, there is a torrential downpour outside, as is the UK. We've got thunderstorms and just constant rain. So, as is the norm with the week of my birthday, it perpetually rains. So I'm going to get on with making some and I will check back in as we go to show you what I'm doing. But yeah, grab a coffee, grab a tea, grab a snack, because this is probably going to be quite a long one, as this is going to be an entire month's worth of footage in one vlog. It may even end up being 2 parts. I may end up having to do all the prep and everything for the market in one and then the actual market in another. And when I do the market one, I will also do a full breakdown of how much it cost me, how much I earn, etc. So let's get making. Good morning, everybody. Today is the 9th of June. It's currently 10 to 1 in the afternoon. I don't think I've checked in at all this last week because I haven't done any work this last week. Because this weekend just gone was my birthday. I'm officially 26, closer to 30 than I am 20 now, and that is a horrible thing to realise. But I haven't actually done much work, honestly. I've just been like relaxing, leading up to my birthday, making plans for my birthday weekend, yada, yada, yada. So yesterday I had a parcel delivered of some new display items. I'll be testing them out, I think, tomorrow at some point. I'll insert pictures here or video footage if I take some. But I also, in that parcel, had some beads delivered. Excuse the fact they're in my yarn bowl. But I had some beads delivered. So I'm going to be topping up on my furry core bracelets, I think is what I saw someone call them. Basically, I make bracelets with bones on them, dog bones to be exact. I do white and white and pink at the moment. However, I had black and cream delivered. I've also ordered some, you can't see them very well, but they're 3D bat beads, and I have some absolutely gorgeous heart bead like statement pieces. So I'll be using those to make maybe some earrings, because I should be able to fit one of my small 4mm glass beads in the middle when I put the post through, but we'll see, we'll find out. So today I think I'm going to stock up on my dog bone bracelets because I've now got 2 new colours I can do with them. I think I'm going to make some dog bone earrings too, and we'll test out those hearts and see what they're like as well. So I'm going to quit the yapping and let's get on to making. I have been here since like 8. Market opened at 10. Which was when we started setting up. The market opened at 10 and I've taken 19 so far. So it's a bit of a slow one today. Our lovely musician friend has left now, but she'll be tagged down below because she's really good. We're starting to see like the odd rush of people coming back from lunch. And this is my first time like properly talking to the camera on my own in public. So I feel like a bit of a plum, can't lie. But I'm hoping that it picks up soon. Like I would like to do more than my normal, which I'll discuss when I do like the market roundup of how much it cost me to be here and that. It's a slow one today, which is not like it for here. So it's a little concerning. And I'm currently wearing my own earrings. Oh, thank you. A few of those actually have a piece of hair over there that It is now 1:25 and I've taken a whopping £32. £32 club! Woo! I'm prioritising. So it's not just me. You can come and introduce yourself if you want.
Oh, you're vlogging?
Yeah.
Oh, but I get nervous. Oh, okay. Alright, where am I going?
Give it a second and I might need to bring it down for you.
I'm so small.
As an adult, I'll crash it.
Hi! I think you should come and buy my earrings.
Woo. I think so too.
Look, I have exactly the same pair. Where is it? Look, I'll even pick them out. Exactly the same pair. £8. £8.
I'll put all our socials down below anyway. It's the thing, just like with everybody else I have in social media stuff, I'll tag everything for you down below anyway.
Cool, thank you.
That's alright. So I think in the end I've done maybe 100, but I will have to find out in the morning when I film the wrap up how much my cash draw report is. And I need to count because I think I missed some cash transactions on my app, but hey ho. We should just have to find out and see, but this has been a slog, as we would say. I ache, I'm tired, I'm hot and sweaty, and it has not gone as well as it could. Nowhere near, but you know, what can you do? I am 2 large Red Bulls in, so once we unpack the car, we're going out for dinner. I'm just going to get us dinner with whatever I learnt, because I really don't feel like having anything cooked, like home cooked. I'm going to get something greasy. And call it a day, and then I will wrap up tomorrow once I get my cash draw report, and I will sit down with you guys and discuss how it's gone. But we're getting ready to pack down in a minute, so I will see you guys in the morning. Bye. Good afternoon everybody. It is now Monday the 29th of June, the day after the market, and I thought I'd just sit down and go over what I earned, the expenses, time, etc., and just how the day went in general. I know I spoke a little bit to the camera during the market and said that it had been quite slow and quite a painful one, and that wasn't a joke. I have dealt with some dodgy customers before, but yesterday I dealt with some of the worst people the planet has to offer me, basically. Now, I understand it's normal at some events to get people who haggle, who don't respect the time it takes to make handmade items, but the sheer amount of people I had yesterday trying to play the pity card, the disability card, and as a disabled person myself, I wouldn't dream of walking up to someone vending at a market and expect a discount because I'm disabled. But I had a lady threaten to walk away with the product in her hand without paying if I didn't discount it, and that to me is just bonkers. I had parents with their kids tell their children they're pretty sure they could find packs of my stickers on Temu for less. I had people looking at products that were like 10 to 12 pound and offer me 2 or 3 quid. Like, this is not a car boot, it is a street market with independent makers. I don't know where people find the audacity these days. I was taking like mini breaks to go and see Jenny and Will, who work in Threads for All, just so I could scream into the void, because if not, I was going to end up having an absolute blow up. Not even a potential customer, there's no way they were going to buy anything. But as the face of my business, I have to try and remain calm and professional and polite as best I can. So not only did I have an absolute nightmare with customers yesterday was the hardest £103 I have ever made. Usually these ones at the walk I do between 130, which was the first ever market I did there, which expected, it was an awkward time of year, but I do between 130 to 300. Could be anywhere in that range. It averages out about 150, 160, and then every once in a while I have one that's like 200 and more. But yesterday was 103 and I had an absolute nightmare trying to earn that. I mean, don't get me wrong, people aren't forced to spend money, but the types of people who were in the audience yesterday were just the type who want to be rude. They weren't interested in buying, they were interested in criticising me. And not just me, other people. You'll hear it there that the table neighbour opposite me, when I said I'd made £32, had also only done 32. And that wasn't without people being rude or funny looks and things like that. It was a day. But like, amongst the table neighbours and the musician that we had, the atmosphere for that was brilliant. I had a really good day. I got to see some of my friends again. We had a good chat. But while I go through this, what I'll do is I'll put like my expenses and monies here on the screen. So the table fee was £10, which honestly £10 is so cheap for these markets, and I really appreciate that the people who run them try to keep them as affordable as possible so that everybody gets a fair chance to partake. Parking for the day was 15. Fortunately, the permits I needed for loading and unloading were free. And I don't necessarily have to worry about fuel because my partner is okay paying for the fuel, and like food and drink I often pay for throughout the day. However, we took food, drink with us. The only thing we bought was Starbucks and he bought that. So overall, like, it cost me £25 to be there, not including the fact that I've spent a month making things. I was up at 5:30 in the morning and I was there till 5 o'clock in the evening, so it was like a 12-hour day for me yesterday. So like I said, £103 was what I took. I paid £10 for the table, £15 for fuel, which left me with £78 after those expenses. Now obviously once you include my time and materials, I actually did not make a profit, but for the most part a lot of my market stock is also my online stock, so I don't have to make all of it every time over again. I have never sold out at an event, so that's not something I have to be concerned about. I have always got stock on rotation. So £78 is quite low for what I'd normally make as a profit there, but 78 quid these days, honestly. I understand with the economy people don't have the money to spend, and I truly do appreciate everybody who did choose to spend their hard-earned money on my goods. It makes me feel so good. I'm so grateful that you love it and you love it enough to buy it. So my first sale of the day was unfortunately to a haggler, but I was in no mood that time in the morning to deal with it. So she was being kind of picky about the colours, and I ended up on my hands and knees under my table getting out my excess bracelets, which is fine. I don't mind doing it if you're genuinely like interested and being polite, but she was being kind of funky about it. And at £6 a piece she wanted 3, but she did not want to pay £18, she wanted to pay 15. And I was just in no mood nor position to argue, and I just wanted it gone and sorted, so I let her have them for 15, and that was the first sale of the day. I wish I'd have stood up for myself a little bit more to her, but I fear she would have just put them down anyway and walked away, so 15 quid was 15 quid. And my next sale of the day was my 3 for £5 magnetic bookmarks, and no issues with this one. The young girl picked 3 cute designs. She had got the peaches, the frogs, and my new like quilt design. She was so sweet, she was so cute. So that was £5 for those. I then managed to sell one of the pens for £6 a piece, and one of my die cut stickers, they're £2 each or 3 for 5. But she only bought one, so that was an £8 transaction, which again was fine. She saw the pen, immediately was like, I must have it. Haggler number 2, who ended up spending money with me because I was not in the mood to deal with it, she'd originally picked up 4 of my 58mm button badges. Now they're £3.50 a piece because they're decently large. They're 58mm. And obviously I illustrate everything, I press them all at home, I do it all myself. And at £3.50 a piece, I have never had anyone query the price. They're usually more than willing to pay for it, because when they go to Comic Cons, they usually pay more. So she picked up 4, and I was like, okay, like I just left her to it. She asked me how much, and I told her, well, I tried to tell her 14, but then I found out she was deaf, which, okay. So I'd noted down on my calculator 14, and she put one back, which was fine. And so they came to £10.50, and then she turned around and asked me if I would give her a discount because she's deaf. Now, I'm a business owner. She had bags from places like M&S. You wouldn't walk into M&S and turn around and say, I'm deaf, can I have a discount? I'm disabled myself. I would never dream of walking up to a small business or any business and flashing my blue badge and saying, hey, I'm disabled, is there any chance I can have a discount on this? Like, that just, to me, is so wrong. But she was threatening to walk away with the items without paying either way. And so I ended up giving them to her for 8 because I just physically couldn't bring myself to argue with her anymore. She was getting quite grumpy with me and was gesturing the act of putting them in her bag and just leaving with them anyway, like stealing them from me. So they went for 8. You can really hear how the tone of my day yesterday went, can't you? I then sold a phone charm to a lovely girl for £4. Someone did the 3 for 5 on my die cut waterproof stickers and a sticker sheet for a total of £7. I ended up making a sale for my table neighbour opposite me while she was going to get food. So there's a transaction here for 22. But it was a £10 pop socket from her and 2 glass bracelets from me. So I made 12 on that, and then I gave her £10 cash out of my tin. I sold one of my £20 mystery bags to a young girl who could not decide what she wanted, and so that's what she ended up going with, just to like get a little bit of everything. So that was another 20. I then sold one of my acrylic pin blind bags for 5. I sold a pair of earrings for 6, a glass bracelet for 6, and then I also sold, let me get my notes app up because I noted down my cash transactions there as well. I sold a sticker sheet and an individual sticker for £4 in cash as well. And then I had a lovely lady who went into Threads looking at my pronoun badges, and I didn't have a they them in there. I was out of stock on it, and fortunately I had some on me. So Jenny and Will sent her out to my table where she came and purchased a badge. And not that you're likely to ever see this, but if you do, know that you made my day so much better, because she paid me a £5 note for a £3.50 badge and insisted that I keep the change. I nearly cried at that gesture. She was adamant that she loves to support small businesses and small artists, and she's from the Netherlands and they're really big on supporting local businesses there. And it was only £1.50 in change, but that just made up for all of the awful people I had dealt with yesterday. So if you do ever see this, know that I love you and I am so grateful for you. You really brought the tone of my day so much higher. Overall, that was like how the sales went throughout the day. It was a rough start to the day, and I mean, I have some stories to tell about how I was treated yesterday by members of the public, but it wasn't just me. Some of the others had some real characters too who were really rude and disrespectful. I got called names yesterday. I had someone turn around and say, us artists, all we ever do is overcharge for tat and cheap. So, but I have another market. In fact, I have 2 next month. I have the 16th of July and the 26th of July, or is it the 19th of July? 19th of July and the 26th of July. One is in Clacton at the Leisure Centre and the other one is again back at the Walk in Ipswich. But because it's going to be during the kids' school holidays, I'm really hoping that, one, my audience is just nicer. I just want polite people. I know I'm not always going to get it, but I would just, you know, not like to deal with nasty people again. That would be like a dream world. But because it's during the kids' summer holiday, I'm kind of estimating 150 to 200 for that market, but we shall see. I was wrong about this one. I thought I was going to make my 150 to 160 again, but hey ho. But in total then, that means for June, I earn 123 at Threads over the month of June. I have had 78 profit from the market. I have had £7.50 before postage for June's snail mail, which is just that one lovely friend of mine in Dis. I know you're going to see this. I love you. You are incredible. And I have had money from Patreon, also from that same person, which, by the way, if you don't know, I run a Patreon. I am trying to get better at posting on it regularly, but for £5 a month you get a monthly themed wallpaper, which, you know, you're not going to get June's. Well, June's one will be available if you decide you want it, but it's going to be too late. But you get every month a themed wallpaper that's got a calendar and a nice little inspirational quote on it. And you get some exclusive art prints. You get access to a chat where you can talk to me. When I get a bit more of an audience on there, I will also be running polls and questionnaires for new products, new designs and things like that. So if that's the kind of thing that interests you, I will link that down below, just like I will link the specific link to my snail mail club, where every month I send you 2 art prints, some stickers and any other goodies I think will fit the theme really well. Which reminds me, I actually do need to release the theme today or tomorrow. I'll get around to that today or tomorrow, that should be up. But yeah, so overall for the month of June I have had £220, give or take a little bit, which is not too bad, honestly. You know, it could have been more, should have been more. I haven't had any actual like online sales in months. I just don't know what's going on at the minute, but I'm not the only one. Almost everybody I talk to, even people I know who've got far more established businesses than I do, are just not getting the sales at the minute this year. So hey ho. Anyway, that is it from me today, and this vlog is nowhere near as long as it should be because we ended up with this god awful heat wave in the UK, which means I didn't do anywhere near as much prep as I should have done, purely because all my equipment has been screaming at me that it's going to overheat. I had to keep turning my heat press off after every item because it was getting so hot in the living room where I have to work. My camera has been overheating. Oh, and newsflash, my DJI is broken. I took the SD card out to check the size of it to buy a new one and get some footage off of it, and when I went to put it back in, it wouldn't go back in. It just sprung right back out at me. So I've had to file a ticket with DJI because it's less than a year old, it's still under warranty. But I have a sneaking deep-seated suspicion that they're just going to turn around and say, hey, you broke this, it's going to cost you like a couple of £100 to fix, which is going to be a huge problem because I don't have that kind of money lump sum to pay for a fix like that, but we shall see. I know my rights as a consumer and if something's fit for purpose or not, because I have been taking SD cards in and out of cameras all my life, even when I was little, so I'm not stupid. None of us are, really. If you use a camera on the regular, you know the drill. When it comes to an SD card, you're delicate, they're fragile. But I will keep you guys updated on the DJI situation. But I actually preferred taking this with me to the market. I think that my footage from the market and my talking segment has come out so much nicer. And I will admit, this actually encouraged me to talk to the camera more as well. So if they can't repair it, I might just ask them to send it back, because the place where I purchased it from I pay for insurance with, and they have said they will just take it back for a full refund if it can't be repaired. So we shall see, but that is it from me today, guys, and I will see you guys in the next one, which will most likely be the prep and markets for July. I might try and do them in 2 separate videos, but if not, you'll end up with another monthly video. And Don't forget to follow me on TikTok and Instagram, and if you're into that kind of thing, Patreon and my snail mail club. And I will see you guys in the next one. Bye guys.